Hello, hello, Glam Fam. Happy Friday. Happy March 1st. I am so excited that it is finally March, even though it is snowing and blizzarding full on outside right now. Kind of over it, but at the same time, I am really excited because March 1st is always an exciting day for me because it starts National Endometriosis Month. As most of you know, and if you didn't know, I'm going to share with you today, I have gone through a almost 12-year journey of endometriosis. I feel like I've been through the ringer as far as trying to figure out what was wrong with me, thinking it was all in my head, that I was crazy and that I was kind of alone in this battle and I was the only person out there that had something going on that really wasn't obtainable to figure out what it was. And I decided last year when I had another kind of routine clean out for endo in December that I really wanted to make March a big deal here for Glamour Defined, and really all in all to make a huge stamp on the community with endometriosis and letting ladies speak about it. I think sometimes as women, we think that it's not okay to talk about our health issues because we're supposed to be warriors. We're supposed to be, strong and, take care of our kids, take care of our families, be business women, be career women, and just kind of plow through and act like everything's fine and ignore all the things that happen. And I'm here to say that that is not going to happen anymore. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. It's nothing to push to the wayside. It's nothing to not go to the doctor about. It is a huge thing. And I wanted to share my letter here. And then we're also going to talk about this t-shirt that we came up with because endometriosis's color is yellow. It couldn't be pink. I was wishing it would be pink, but it is yellow, which is totally fine too. I do like yellow, so that works. At least it wasn't purple, not a big purple fan, but I'm okay with yellow. So I'm going to read you guys kind of my letter that talks a little bit about my journey, but the main reason why I am doing this is because I want to make sure that if anybody is thinking that they might be going through similar things, that you need to go get it checked out, and this could possibly be what is happening to you right now. I never want you to think that you're alone in this journey, and that is one of the main reasons why I have decided to speak out publicly this month about it. We have a huge campaign rolling. We are partnering with the National Endometriosis Foundation. They do a lot of grants in order to conduct research on endometriosis and how it can be easily diagnosed, when lately the only way that you can be diagnosed is going in via laparoscopically. So, okay, so I'm going to try to get through my letter here without bawling, but if I do, please bear with me, and we will get to the shirt here at the very end.
Blurry.
I'm really blurry?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I was going to tell you to do that before you started.
Okay, I'll turn my Wi-Fi on. Let me know if that helps. Hopefully that helps. Okay, so yes, if I get blurry, just let me know. Our Wi-Fi here sucks, so we'll try to get through it here. Okay, so here we go. The last 12 years, I have spent trying to figure out what was wrong with me and my immense pelvic pain to the point where I would get sick and not be able to sleep. After countless misdiagnoses, ER visits that led to here are some pain meds, go home and get some rest, and doctor changes, I was feeling defeated and starting to think that it was all in my head. Anybody else been there? Then one night I woke from sleep literally screaming with agony because I felt like my insides were being ripped out. I said I wasn't gonna cry. Sorry guys. My family rushed me to the emergency room where I was seen by the on-call OBGYN doctor. She was the first one to believe me that this was endometriosis pain and that there was no way that she could send me home with this much pain going on. That afternoon, I had surgery that she performed only to find a belly full of endometriosis. It was everywhere. On my colon, my intestines, my stomach, all of my reproductive system, and more. Even though that was a terrifying statement to hear that I was covered in something, I felt this huge sense of relief. It finally had an answer. That answer I had wanted for over 10 years. 10 years of seeing countless doctors saying that it's just in your head. It's just, it's ulcerative colitis, it's Crohn's, it's interstitial cystitis, it's all these different things. I had finally had the answer that I had wanted. Never in my life would I have thought I would have ended up with an ovary torsion, partial hysterectomy, 4 discovery surgeries, and a surgery about every year to clean out endometriosis. During this journey, I have learned that 1 in 10 women are misdiagnosed for endometriosis. That's terrifying. Wow. When it comes to this disease, and most go on living their life thinking that the pain is just normal and that it's just all in their head and that someday it will just disappear. Guess what? It's not. Endometriosis only gets worse with age. It gets worse as you have it cleaned out. And I have decided that it's time for me to share my struggles, tears, indescribable pain, hard decisions that I have had to make, and most of all, how I found peace with myself in this disease. Never would I have thought that I would have to make all of those decisions at the young age of 28 years old. Also, never would I have thought that I would never be able to continue my husband's last name with a child or get the best title a woman could get, mom. Endo did this to me, and if I can save one lady from waiting 12 years for answers, that is what I'm all about today. I have felt like I have won endo, and most likely I probably haven't, but I feel like a warrior. I'm willing to stand up against it today, and I am living with just 1 ovary and have decided to make it my mission to bring awareness to this disease and every woman out there so that they know that you are worth it. I knew I was going to cry, so thank you for being there with me through that. But that is kind of a little bit about my journey and how this has really overtaken my life. At this age, a lot of people are always asking, are you guys going to have kids, or do you have kids? The answer is no. I had that taken away from me at the very young age of 16 when I had an ovary cyst that ruptured and totally took out a lot of my reproductive system, turning into endometriosis with all the scar tissue that happened. So, gather myself here, sorry. I have made it my mission that I don't want any woman out there to ever go through what I have been through. I never want you to feel alone. I never want you to feel defeated. I never want you to feel like there's not an answer. There is. You need to find the right doctor that works for you. I went through 4 before I found mine. I kind of call her my saving grace because I was to the point where I just felt like this is just something I have to live with. Every time that I go through my monthly cycle, I'm just going to feel like I'm dying, literally dying. And it ended up being that it was going on longer than that before that, and literally just decided that this isn't right and that you need to take a stand against it. I want to talk a little bit about some of the symptoms of endometriosis. That includes pelvic pain, painful urination, low immune defense, back and shoulder pain. That's actually what woke me from my sleep, was that my low back hurt so bad my husband couldn't even touch my back to console me. Intestinal pain, mood swings, blood clotting, bowel changes and discomfort, bloating, and most of all, infertility. All of those things are just the very beginning of what endo basically attacks your body with. It's definitely not the only things that can happen to you, but it's a good amount of things that happen when this disease first starts. Misdiagnoses, these are just some. I've been diagnosed with all of these things, and 99% of them were not true because I literally had endometriosis everywhere. Some of them were digestion issues, interstitial cystitis, urinary tract infections, ulcerative colitis, Crohn's, ovarian cysts, unnatural digestion issues, gallbladder issues, appendicitis, and let's see, and I said urinary tract infections. I've been diagnosed with all of those. At one point, I was on 13 different medications to see if they could figure out what was wrong with me. I don't want you to be alone in this fight. This is awful. I never want anybody to feel like they don't have an answer. They don't know somebody who hasn't been through it. It's awful. And it can be stopped. Please go see your doctor. Ask about it. You're probably starting to see commercials now about endometriosis, but literally it has taken years for that to happen. Doctors and researchers just believe that it was just in people's heads and it was just scar tissue and it's just this massive yuckiness basically that shows up. It's not. It is a full-blown disease that you need to be aware of. How it can be stopped is usually the natural progression of how going about treating endometriosis is, of course, step 1, ask your doctor. Step 2, they usually put you on some sort of birth control to see if that helps with your menstruation. Then they'll try medication. I was on Dupolupron for over a year and a half, and it put me into temporary menopause. I gained 55 pounds. I was probably the most unhappy person I've ever been in my life. And it wasn't fair to my family, it wasn't fair to myself or my body, and then ultimately landed having surgery to have endometriosis taken out. Endometriosis is not just isolated to your uterus, it can grow outside of that. Like I said, I had it on my colon, I had it all over my intestines, my stomach, I had a piece of it up on my lung. It was literally everywhere, causing what they thought were digestion issues, interstitial cystitis, urinary tract infections, ulcerative colitis, Crohn's, ovarian cysts, all of these different things. Endo is a very good two-faced person that likes to pose as someone else. So I want you to know that you are not alone. If you have questions, I am always an open book about this subject. I've decided to make it my mission to bring awareness about this and that we should speak out about endometriosis. It's not something that should be taken lightly. It's not something you should have to fight alone. With that being said, tears aside, we have launched our I Am Worth It shirt. So I know it's backwards, but it says I am worth it being in all capitals and our GD flower here at the very end. It is in endo yellow. The endo yellow is the lighter shade of yellow, and it's $28. And I am happy to say that 50% of the proceeds of this are going to the National Endometriosis Foundation to try to find a cure for this without having to go in laparoscopically. You can click the link above. I will also, I don't think I added it, but I will add it after I post this video. I hope that you find this in your heart, that this is something that we definitely need to talk about, and that women are not alone in this journey. 1 in 10 of us are going to be diagnosed with it, and I just want you to all feel like you have somebody by your side through this fight, because it can be a very long journey, as have mine. I would really appreciate it if you share this video and buy a t-shirt. So help me make a difference and let women know that they're not alone in this fight. You are worth it. Thanks, guys.